The Silence of Alderwood. The Alderwood National Forest was famous for two things: the stunning, unbroken canopy of ancient pines and the eerie quiet that fell upon anyone who ventured too far from the marked paths. It was this silence that drew Elias, an ornithologist obsessed with recording rare bird calls. He trekked 3 days deep, setting up camp in a clearing so remote that the sounds of the outside world, traffic, planes, even distant sirens, vanished entirely. On his first night, Elias recorded nothing but the hiss of his own equipment. Not a cricket, not a rustle of leaves, and certainly no birdsong. It was a pressure of silence that hurt his ears. The next morning he found a small, meticulously carved wooden bird resting on the microphone stand. It wasn't a species he recognized. It had too many feathers, too thin a beak. Elias chalked it up to a previous hiker playing a strange prank and tossed it into the fire pit. That night the silence was thicker. He decided to play back the day's recording just to hear something. The tape played perfectly for a minute, capturing the sound of his footsteps and the snap of a twig. Then a sound cut through, a single, impossibly pure note like a flute played by a master, lasting exactly 3.5 seconds. Elias stopped the tape, heart hammering. No known bird could produce that sound. He replayed the segment, and this time the note was immediately followed by a new sound, a deep, guttural clicking, like stones being rubbed together, that rapidly faded. He went to sleep deeply unsettled. The following morning he found something new. A collection of small wooden carvings, not just the bird, but now a pine cone, a tiny segmented insect and a human ear, all arranged in a neat semicircle around his tent entrance. And they were all coated in a dark, sticky residue that smelled faintly of pine sap and iron. Elias grabbed his gear, panic setting in. He packed his tent in minutes, grabbed his heavy recording pack and started hiking back, using his compass to backtrack his route. He hiked for hours, but the forest didn't change. Every pine tree looked identical. Every trail marker he found was scratched and unreadable. The sun began to sink. He was lost. He decided to check his GPS, pulling it out of his pack. The screen was dark. Then he noticed the small carved wooden figures. They were not just in his pack, they were now integrated into it. The wooden ear was glued firmly to the nylon strap. The pine cone was wedged into the zipper pull. He ripped his heavy recording headset off his ears, desperate to hear the normal sounds of the forest again. The wind, the insects, anything. But the silence was overwhelming. And from that silence a new sound began to emerge, not from the trees but from inside his own head. It was the pure, fluting note he had recorded the night before. But this time it didn't last 3.5 seconds. It held steady, growing sharper, more insistent, pressing against his eardrums until he dropped to his knees. Just as he thought his skull would crack, the note stopped. And then, in the utter crushing silence of Alderwood Forest, Elias heard the deep guttural sound of clicking stones. It wasn't far away. It was right behind him. He didn't turn around. He just lay there, realizing the horrible truth. The forest hadn't wanted the sounds he recorded. It had wanted the silence, and now it had come to collect all the others too.